providing logistics, etc. So um, it's dual citizenship friendly. You don't need to renounce your original passport. So, for example, if you're born in the U.S. and you are repatriating, you don't need to renounce your U.S. citizenship. You don't need to renounce your UK citizenship or French or German. You can always have two passports, three, four, depending on how many citizenships your original state allows. Can have as many. I have stories. I have a client who had six citizenships. So at some point, people just started to collect them. And it's a home for Jewish identities. We talked about it previously. It's a place where you don't need to hide your identity. And I think this is a big factor today for people. I've spoken to a lot of clients from the US, from all over the place, from Europe, from the US, where people tell me about how they are hiding their Jewish identity, how they are not wearing, stop wearing kippas and stop celebrating Jewish holidays, and people are really just erasing and self-censoring their Jewish identity just to blend in, just to feel safer, just to, you know, not create too much attention, and it's horrible. Next, probably the one of the most important things you need to know is how to apply for Jewish citizenship. So, five factors that you need. One of them to apply successfully for Jewish citizenship. So, first of all, of course, you need to be Jewish. If you are born a Jew, have Jewish parents, and can provide documents that prove that you're Jewish. How to prove that you're Jewish? Well, first of all, if you are, for example, in the U.S., you can just go to a synagogue that you go to on a regular and ask a rabbi to provide a letter for you, where a rabbi vouches for you to be Jewish and knowing you personally. Or you can be not born a Jew, but you can convert and make Gior. You can convert to Judaism. It will take you a couple of years. You will receive a certificate of a successful conversion, and this will be enough for you to be eligible for Israeli citizenship and to make Aliyah. Who else is eligible? So we have children and grandchildren of Jews. That's mostly for people who are repatriating from the CIS region through Nativ. This is where people need to prove that one of your great grandmothers, one of the four great grandmothers that you have, is Jewish. And you'll provide documents that prove that and link yourself to that person. So you'll find documents on your great grandmother, your grandparents, your parents, and yourself, and link these documents together. And in this way, you can be considered a generational Jew. You are eligible for repatriation up to three generations. So, as we know, Jewishness is linked through the mother's side, through the mother's line. So, once there is only a male Jew in your family tree, that's where you start to count down the generations. Up to three generations uh, can be eligible for repatriation. Then we have situations where people are not Jews, not converted. Is there a chance to be an Israeli citizen? The answer is yes. If you are married to a Jewish person and you are not Jew, if you are officially married, you can safely repatriate with your spouse and become an Israeli citizen. And the last way to repatriate is if you are a widow, pardon me, a widow or widower of Jews. So if your spouse is Jewish and you have not remarried again, this is very important. So after your spouse unfortunately being passing, if you have not remarried after you are still eligible for repatriation and to become an Israeli citizen. Okay, now let's talk about the statistics and Israel in numbers. To be honest, I'm not the strongest in numbers, but we can look at this statistics together and let's comment on it. So we have the population, Israeli population. So it has grown, it is growing. It has grown 2.2% since last year. Now the population of Israel is 10.3 million people. It includes about 200,000 Jews originally from the US, about 1 million from the CIS region. So this is Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, etc. About 2 million Arabs and about 7 million Jews born originally in Israel. Okay. Then we have the economy. So, economy. Uh, let's talk about the GDP first, per capita. So it has grown 11%. Here on the graphs, we can see the statistics from 2020. We can see the statistics to date. Well, 2025 is not finished yet, so our statistic is 2024. And we have the predictions for 2027. Anyway, if we just look at the graph, we see that it's growing. It looks great. It looks like it's going up. And today, still, as I said, the year hasn't finished yet. For 2024, it's $42,000 per capita. It is prognosed to be up to 47,000, about 47,000 in 2027. If we're looking at the star, at the link, uh, so we have the GDP per capita in the US, for example, it's $67,000. In the UK, it's $63,000. So it's not there yet. That's true. But I wanted to show this graph just to show that GDP is growing and it's getting there. It's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's growing and it's coming to like the US, UK standards. Then we have the tech exports has grown 60% since 2020 to 72 billion dollars. And I want to talk about this a little bit more. So Israel has established itself as a leader in several high-tech and strategic fields, and particularly in technology, cybersecurity, and military defense. So if we're talking about the technology and cybersecurity, Israel invests a higher percentage of GDP in research and development than most other countries and has the highest number of scientists and engineers per capita in the world. So, per capita, we have the most scientists and engineers in the world. We'll talk about the universities later, but the universities are globally recognized in fields like computer science and engineering, like one of the best universities, faculties are in Israel. Then we have the cybersecurity. It's a cybersecurity powerhouse. So, but in 2021, 40% of all global private cybersecurity investments were given to Israeli companies. So it's a big hub for cybersecurity. Then we can talk about the medical and the biotech. Of course, it's a thriving life science industry. The sector is composed of over 1,380 companies, where a half of it is just dedicated and focused on medical devices and high quality human resources. So Israel has one of the highest ratios of physicians per capita in the world, ensuring a strong foundation for both medical practice and research. Um, so, oh, of course, and the unemployment rate. So, as I told many of my clients, it is almost impossible to be unemployed in Israel. As we can see, 2.6% unemployment rate is absolutely amazing, I think, in my humble opinion. And well, of course, we have a smaller population, than let's say USA, UK, but still 2.6% unemployment rate is a unique, uh, absolutely a unique number, especially for people who are worried where regarding their job opportunities, career opportunities, if they're going to find a job in Israel when they will move here, if they will be able to find a job. Here, as you can see, the unemployment rate is very low, so I don't think you'll be part of that 2.6%, honestly. Aliyah numbers, trends, please just look at these statistics, see the growth. In 2020, it was around 20,000. By 2025, by October 2025, it's around 57,000 people repatriating, making Aliyah. So I don't think I'm going to comment on that. I think we've already spoken about the reasons of why people are doing this. We see what the world has brought us to as Jews in living outside of Israel. So these numbers shouldn't surprise anybody. Um, yeah, let's resume and summarize everything we've talked about today. Why do Jews continue to make Aliyah? So here we have a pattern. For example, what we talked about when we talked about the political shifts. So a geopolitical shift happens. Let's say it's a new government, economical crisis, whatever. The shift threatens the stability and security of the local Jewish communities, and it leads to direct violence and rise of anti-Semitism. Just look at Israel as a place where it's safe to live in. But I want you to understand a very important thing. Aliyah is not just about fleeing danger. It's not about just escaping the anti-Semitism, etc. It's a choice to build a life uh, in one nation that guarantees them a home no matter what happens in the wilder world. So it's not about just saving yourself from the anti-Semitism, the global anti-Semitism. It is a choice to live at a place where you belong, where you are welcomed and appreciated. Uh, Education. I want to talk about education as well. So our some of our clients are not all grown. They are well considered adults, but still looking for education, looking to start a career in Israel. So they are, of course, wondering about education. So here are three, in my humble opinion, three best universities in Israel. So it's the Tel Aviv University, the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and the Technion. So here is approximately, of course, it depends on what faculty you are choosing, but this is like an average yearly cost for education in these top three universities in Israel. So as you can see, it's around 15 grand per year for English speakers. Well, for my US audience, I think you know the numbers are better than I do, but I have Googled, I have seen these numbers, so here you are. This slide is especially for you guys. All right. Benefits of Israeli citizenship. So the first point, the visa-free travel for more than 160 countries, that's mostly for people from the CIS region. So the Israeli citizenship gives you visa-free entrance to many, many countries. Then we have access to Israeli and global banking and investment, full health coverage, and education benefits. Full health coverage. So when you repatriate, when you make Aliyah, for the first 6 months, Israel provides you with free state health insurance. For the first 6 months, you have full health coverage for free. Um, and then after that, you just need to pay for it as a resident. If you're a non-resident, you don't need to pay any taxes. Don't pay for state health insurance. You can just have private health insurance. It is much cheaper than probably anywhere else where there is provided that level of Medicare, like in Israel, um, is the cheapest and the one of the best. Um, Option to live part-time or permanently. So it's your resident or non-residency status. Um, Again, as I said, if you are a non-resident, you are still the same citizen as anybody else. It's only the residency status. So many people confuse Aliyah with the residency status. So you are making Aliyah regardless. If you are coming here to just to apply for your citizenship, get it and keep your center of life somewhere else, you are just not receiving the benefits that were created for residents only, for residents specifically. Um, Secure fallback for global uncertainty. So, yes, no matter what happens, Israel provides you with a home, a safe place to be. So, Israel today. So, honestly, when people think of Israel, they often picture a region that is defined by conflict. The reality of life in Israel today is very different, and despite of the ongoing tensions, uh, Israel still managed to build one of the most secure, advanced, and resilient societies in the world. And for American Jews in particular, for European Jews, what's striking is the contrast, not between Israel and its neighbors in the Middle East, but between Israel and growing sense of insecurity in the West. So rising anti-Semitism in the US, in Europe, and even in leading universities has reminded many people that being Jewish abroad is not always safe. You can sometimes feel unsafe. In Israel, is the opposite. Here, if you are Jewish, it is the norm. It is open, it is visible, it is celebrated, and it is protected. So on the so Israel offers an extraordinary mix of freedom, innovation, and belonging. Um, It's a country that turned constant pressure into creativity, creating one of the best cybersecurities, one of the best militaries. We have the IDF, we have oh, it's the military. Um, and one of the best senses of culture and self-identity. Uh, Having that as an Israeli citizen, having that by receiving Israeli citizenship is why it is so valuable today. And if someone who is Jewish, who still considers whether becoming Israeli or not, still considering, I really hope that today's lecture, I'll be honest, it was my first lecture that I gave here today. Maybe somewhere it was a little weak. But I really tried to explain in the best I could today why it is so valuable. So, thank you very much for your attention. This was all I wanted to say that I have prepared for you today. Today we can now we can get to the questions. So let's see what questions you have. 1 second. All right. So we have a couple of questions that were given to us when people were registering for this webinar. So, how do I get, first question, how do I get an Israeli passport? Um, All documents proving my family identity as Jewish were lost when my grandmother passed. How do I confirm that I am Jewish without family documents? Again, it depends on where you're from. So if you are from the U.S., for example, you can just get a letter from a rabbi. If a rabbi knows you personally, can vouch for you being Jewish, you won't need these documents, and you can just get a letter from a rabbi. If you are from a different country, like any country from the CIS region, and your documents that prove that you are Jewish from your grandmother were lost, you can always use the archivists. We can help you with that. You can just contact us directly. How does dual citizenship work? Very easily, depending on where your center of life is going to be. You are a citizen of two countries, a country that you are originally from, and Israel. So, if you are a non-resident, if your center of life is somewhere outside of Israel, you are not obligated to pay taxes, not obligated to pay for health insurance. You just don't have that state health insurance. So, you are Israeli citizen, non-resident, who you can come to Israel anytime you like, um, but you can stay there permanently unless you change your status to a resident. Um, I'm interested in dual citizenship. I plan to make Aliyah, but not now. With everything going on, I believe that I need to start making preparations now. Correct. Start making the preparations now. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in a week. It's an ongoing process. It requires a lot of paperwork. It requires a lot of patience. And as we discussed earlier today, it's always a good idea, especially today, to have Israeli citizenship, even if you are not planning to live here, if you're not planning to move to Israel anytime soon. Uh, there are reasons to get it as soon as possible if you are Jewish. Can converts make Aliyah? What if your spouse is not Jewish? Converts, yes, they can make Aliyah, but you need an official certificate of your conversion. Many people convert online or just self-converted, as they say. It is not. It's not it. You need you need an official conversion to Judaism, and to make it official, you need a certificate of your conversion, of your giur. What if your spouse is not Jewish? Yeah, we talked about it previously. Your If your spouse is not Jewish, she will still become an Israeli citizen because he is married to a Jew. Um, so I believe that's all the questions we have so far. Let's see. Yeah, I believe that's it. Uh, Thank you very much for your attention. It was, yeah, subscribe to World Repatriation Agency Israel. Now on the social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can visit our website, World Repatriation Agency Israel, welcome/israel.com. If you are interested in obtaining Israeli citizenship, you can also contact me directly. My name is Gregory. It was a pleasure being here talking about Israel, talking about the Israeli citizenship. Thank you very much. We're going to have this webinar lecture probably every month. We're going to evolve. We're going to make it more interesting, more. We're going to make it more fun. And yeah, thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday. Toda rabba. Shalom. And see you soon.